everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Layla, the Lenormand reader, and I focus on the amazing Lenormand deck. Download your starter guide so you can discover and master this amazing deck. Welcome to a new weekly reading. We are doing an hourglass today with the lovely Tara Lenormand. Let's go ahead and start with you, Aries, and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aries, here is your hourglass, and we have the lovely clover and the lovely key with the tree. This is great for achieving a goal. In the middle, we have a bit of a challenging message, and it seems to stand out in terms of the thought process or the decision making that is ahead for you. The clouds is the card of the mind, and it is about confusion and tension of the mental kind, and the cross can mean an important decision and sometimes sacrifices. So there is a bit of a heavier energy that comes through the clouds and cross, and I have to say this is very different from the rest of the cards. The rest of the cards are really bright. So let's look at these cards and then put the picture together. So we have the key and garden. This is great for a meeting that goes well. It's really good for connecting with others, networking, and you could find answers by communicating or connecting with other people. The ship and rider are travel cards and definitely movement cards. These are really good cards for going after goals. So the message that I'm getting so far is that you need to get out of being stuck in your mind and you need to take action. So staying stuck in your mind is not going to help. You need to take action and you will find answers. The key and tree is achieving a very important goal, which is a lovely combination. And the tree and rider is lovely for growth and progress. So a very nice line at the top here, really promising success. The ship and clover and garden, these are lovely cards for doing well. They're also really good cards for achieving goals. And it is also a message that you are going to be very lucky from connecting with others. You could be doing well in the marketplace or within a certain community. So these cards, they very much encourage you to go out and do stuff, as opposed to the middle line, which keeps you stuck in your mind. So maybe you've thought about this enough. You can move on now and start taking action. The key and ship is great for pursuing goals. Again, we're seeing a lot of really good messages for achieving what you want. The tree and clover is lovely for growth. Another wonderful message here. And the rider and garden is a bit like the ship and garden. It points to going out, meeting people, getting together with others and connecting. So there are definitely going to be answers by getting out there, Aries. You're not going to find answers by staying stuck in your mind. So take the trouble to go out and meet people, because staying stuck in your mind is not going to help you move forward. What is going to help you move forward is taking action. And once you do, I think you're going to find that you have a lot of momentum and you're going to be really happy that you took that step. Now, the key with the clouds and clover into the cross and rider is about finding solutions. Trust that you can find solutions and trust that you need to take the steps. Now, we do have the clouds and cross in here, so I think you could have a bit of difficulty getting this effort off the ground, but you will. And the ship with the clouds into the tree, cross, and garden is sort of similar, where we see that you're trying to break through the stuckness, and you will. The idea of the cross and clouds here, I feel, is that it's a bit of negative thinking that's getting in your way. And maybe it's keeping you stuck, and maybe you're spending too much time thinking about it, planning it, and doing things like that, when you just need to take a step and move ahead. Now, the cards are mostly focused on your project and possibly your work. I'm not seeing so much a personal relationship element here. So make it more about your community, society at large with the garden, and make it a point to network and to reach out to others, because this is what's going to help you get out of this mindset and start seeing tangible results to the efforts that you're putting in here. So really nice cards, Aries, if you're just willing to get out of your mind and take a practical step and reach out to others and do something towards your goals. I think as soon as you do that, you will soon enough get over the blockages, which are inner blockages, and you'll be very happy with the results. Let me know what you make of these lovely ideas. I certainly hope that you resonate with them in this way. Very best of luck with the week, Aries. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's do your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Taurus, here is a very curious layout, I have to say. It brings up people. We have both the dog and the woman, and we have the snake. So the snake is not great with relationships, and it almost always warns against someone who is deceptive. Let's look at these cards in turn, and then we'll put together the picture. So in the middle, we have the dog and stork, which is actually quite nice because it suggests doing things and being active with a friend, getting together. So doing something. There is like an action or an activity that comes with this stork. Because of the coffin in the cards, it's possible that a relationship picks up, maybe after a time apart. The sun and woman is lovely. This is great for a relationship, but we have the coffin and snake, which points to moving away from a relationship. And we have the snake and woman. Now, the way this can play out is, and of course, we're going to read the other lines, but I think you're picking up the issues here. So the way this can play out is that either we're talking about two different people, so one who is supportive and one who isn't, and you move away from the person who isn't, or we are seeing someone who might have come across as nice and lovely, and you thought there were prospects here or it had potential, but then it turns out to be disappointing. So either of these two scenarios can make sense with these cards. Now in the top row, we have the sun, lily, and snake. Now here, yes, we could be looking at the same idea where you had hopes for the relationship and maybe you even thought it was going to be a longer term relationship, possibly a professional relationship because of the lily, but the snake turns out to be disappointing. That's one possible way. But what's also coming through this line, and that's interesting, is that you are going to achieve your goals, but through an indirect way. So the snake is really clever, but it has to work in an indirect, roundabout way. It's tactful, diplomatic, it's patient, and so on. And so if you're willing to do this kind of winding path towards your goals, you're probably going to achieve them. Something else with the snake is that you need to keep some things to yourself, Taurus. The snake is a card of silence and secrecy. So there are some things, probably in relation to the goals that you're pursuing, that you don't want to share with others. Probably because of the envy and this somewhat challenging or toxic energy that we're seeing with this person or some people. Now, in the bottom row, we have the coffin, heart, and woman. And this can mean that someone was away and maybe you missed them, like you were away. We've got the coffin and heart, which usually points to missing someone and, thinking about them, yearning for them. And so this woman could have been away and maybe you have missed this person. The sun and coffin can mean a successful ending. The lily and heart points to a successful career and a happy kind of life, feeling satisfied with what you're pursuing. And then the snake and woman points to this deceptive person that we talked about earlier. So the cards are really a little bit of a mix of things here. There could be several things going on for you this week, or there can be an interesting kind of dynamic playing out. So what could this dynamic be? Well, here's one scenario. It's possible that you and this person were apart for some time, but then through the middle line, there's an opportunity for you to get together. And this is something you look forward to and makes you happy. However, unfortunately, it doesn't turn out to be what you thought it was going to turn out to be. So your hopefulness and your enthusiasm sort of gets dampened because you feel that this person is not on the same page. She's disappointing. She turns out to be, you're disappointed with how the relationship turns out. That's possible. But another thing we could be looking at is that you are doing really well and you achieve goals and you're feeling, fulfilled. You're feeling proud with what you're doing, but there are some people that you need to move away from because, they're not going to share your enthusiasm. They don't support it, So you want to protect your joy. You want to protect your success from certain characters. And both scenarios can apply. They're not really mutually exclusive. So you let me know. Now, the sun with the dog and heart into the stork and snake. This is a line that brings together this idea that you were hopeful about a relationship, but you end up turning away from it or sort of toning down your enthusiasm because of what it turns out to be. And in the second set of diagonals, we have the coffin with the dog into the lily, stork, and woman. So this is where we suggested that you and this person were apart, but then there's an opportunity for you to come together. So overall, Taurus, there are a couple of possible scenarios, or both of them. In terms of a relationship, you could have been apart from someone. Then there's an opportunity to get together with them, but unfortunately, it turns out to be a little bit disappointing. And the other scenario is that you are a goal achiever. You're doing really well with others and with your work, but you want to avoid certain characters who do not really support your success. So that's the idea of protecting what you're up to. So these are the two scenarios that I can come up with clearly through these cards. And one more thing I want to add is that this person, these people, or the situation can apply in different areas of your life. We're not really seeing a strict focus on a specific theme. The lily can be a card of work, but it is also a card of life and life path. So it's not strictly about work. So that's to say that the issue here can be in your work life, in your personal life, or in some other area. So the idea here is that these dynamics that we're seeing in these cards can apply in different contexts of your life. It could be work-related, personal, or in some other area of your life. You let me know how these resonated with you, Taurus. I certainly hope you achieve your goals and that you are discerning about people around you, and that if you need to let go of someone, you're able to move past this easily. Let me know how it plays out. Very best of luck with this, Taurus. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Gemini, here is your hourglass, and it's looking pretty good. We have the beautiful clover at the end of the line layout with the fish, which is great for money. And we have the rider here and the moon, which is quite nice. So what's going on? Well, my feeling is that something could have been dragging, or you could have had some challenges with probably something official or legal or administrative, because we have the Tower and Mouse, but then it works out. So let's see what's going on. We have the Book and Rider in the middle. This is great for a revelation. This is news and feedback. The Garden and Clover is great for a meeting or a community or networking with certain people. It goes really well. And then the Moon and Fish is great for money. You could get an offer, a business offer, or some kind of opportunity that enhances a financial element in your life. So from the get-go, these are really nice cards. The Garden with the Tower and Fish can be an organization that you're working through. It can be a business or possibly a bank or something financial. And you could have a meeting or you're following up with these people. And the Moon with the Mouse and Clover suggests that things are slow and maybe a bit difficult, but they should work out thanks to the Clover. So these are really nice cards. The Garden and Moon points to an invitation, and the Tower and Mouse, like we said, points to something slow or difficult with this process. But the Fish and Clover is lovely for a really positive outcome for your finances or for something related to money, your work, or, something practical like that. So really nice cards. So we're seeing that there's progress this week. Again, this could have been dragging and a bit difficult, but it looks like there's progress this week. Now, the Garden with the Book and Mouse into the Rider and Fish is a positive resolution. It's probable that you have to close certain gaps of information. If it's something procedural, it sounds a bit tedious and you need to follow through and pay attention to the details. But again, the Rider and Fish is great for progress. You could also be getting income. So this could be a project or a job. The Moon with the Book is an offer. The Tower, Rider, and Clover is lovely. It suggests that communication or meetings with probably decision makers, as represented by the Tower, go really well. We have the Clover at the end of the line, which is really lucky, and the offer element through the Moon and Book earlier. So it seems to me that you are able to negotiate successfully, you get positive feedback, you get the offer, you get the green light, and you're able to move ahead. So these are some really nice cards, Gemini. They're pretty relieving, and they suggest that success is ahead. Now, it seems to me that this is more related to work, money, business, practical side of life, as opposed to anything else. We're not really seeing people, friendships, one-on-one relationships, or family, or anything like that. So it looks like you're following through on either a work offer or something administrative or something like that, that is a more practical thing. And it goes well, despite the gaps, despite the slowness, despite the issues that you need to follow through, it should go well. So this could be quite encouraging. Let me know what you make of this, Gemini. I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. I certainly hope there's progress in the way that the cards suggested. Let me know in the comments. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Cancer, here is your hourglass, and there's a few things going on here. We have a bunch of different cards. Let's see how they come together. First, in the middle row, we have the man and Lily. This can represent someone older, or it can represent someone professional. I'm thinking possibly someone older in your family, maybe a father. And the reason I'm thinking that is because we have the house along with the lily and man. So this can highlight the father or a parent or someone senior in your home. But of course, this is flexible, and it can represent someone like a manager or someone who is professional, or, someone you refer to for maybe some expertise. The key in house is great for real estate. This is a great combination for buying, renting, investing, selling, and so on. But it's also more generally about gaining access into a certain space and also being successful. The bird and roads are about trips and travels, usually of the shorter kind. You could be going places, going after things, running errands, and getting busy with this. I'm also thinking that you could be, in contact with this person and maybe trying to meet with them. The key with the coffin and road is definitely about closing something off and moving on. We have the coffin after the key. We have the coffin and the road, which means you could be no longer pursuing something, and it could be the end of the road. The bird with the mountain along with the house can represent traveling to a place, because we have the house and mountain. It could be a home or a space or a certain connection in another location, maybe in a different country, but maybe just farther from where you are. And like I said, the bird is typically shorter trips. So it's not necessarily far, but that's flexible. It depends on your specific details. Another thing is that the bird can represent just communication without travel. So you could be in touch with someone who's away. And it's also possible, Cancer, that this person is a bit difficult to come through. So maybe communication has been blocked for some time. Now, the key and bird is great for getting answers. So this is a lovely message. The coffin and mountain can be an obstacle and a blockage. And then the road and house is movement. And you could be visiting or meeting with this person or going to this place. So it sounds like so first of all, the reading is generally neutral. We have the key, which is a positive card, but the rest of the cards are a lot more on the neutral side. And it seems like it's revolving around this person, meeting with this person, and getting together with them. Communication could be a mixed bag. You've made a decision to get together or do something together, but then there's a bit of a slow progress before you're able to meet with them. I also feel that you might have to go after them a little bit. You might have to go meet them where they are in order to see them. Now, the key with the man and mountain into the lily and road is a brighter line. It can suggest an opportunity that you are contemplating. And it sounds like this person can be someone who gives you answers. And you could also be, pursuing a path, professional path maybe, thanks to their support. Now, the bird with the man and coffin into the lily and house can mean a couple of different things. So like I said earlier, it can mean that you got the green light and everything, but there's a bit of a slowdown before things move forward. That's one option. That's one scenario. Another scenario that I'm thinking is that you could be moving on from a certain person because you're pursuing another opportunity. This would work well in a job context, for example. And the lily is a card of work and career. So maybe you're changing directions or moving on, and you're letting go from, let's say, your current boss or your current colleague or your current partner, and you're moving in a different direction. This could be at hand. And in terms of personal relationships, if we read these cards as a personal relationship, I think the cards are a bit more, they're on the neutral side. So we're not really seeing this warm connection. There can be some progress, I don't think it's great progress. And it's really about breaking the silence or breaking the blockage. And there is an opportunity to get together with this person, but we don't really see this warm element. Still, you could get answers, you could get clarification, and that could very much be part of what you're after. So it's a bit of a transitional kind of feel for these cards, Cancer. It's really about getting together with this person, or at least getting in touch with them. It's really about getting together with this person, or at least getting in touch with them so that you have clarity or you have ways forward. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Cancer. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Let me know who this person was, if you're traveling, and why you were pursuing them. As always, I look forward to your perspective. Very best of luck with this. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Leo, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Leo, here is your hourglass, and it's looking really pretty. We have the lovely star in the middle, we have the sun at the top, and the rest of the cards are supportive. So the bird and star here in the middle points to some very good news, and news that answers a wish. So it looks like this is the whole thing. The woman and stork suggests that someone gets in touch, probably because of the bird, or there is action and activity with this person. The idea of this stork is that it is a card of change and activity, and so it brings this energy and moves things forward. And the rider and heart is sort of similar because the rider and stork are both movement cards, and the heart is a card of happiness. The rider is also a card of news because it's a messenger card. So we're seeing very clearly that there is news and follow-up and positive feedback, and it looks to be coming from this woman or connected with her in some way. Now, the woman with the sun and heart is another very beautiful message here for wish fulfillment, happiness, and a very good connection. And the rider, tower, and stork, again, moves things forward because of the rider and stork. Now, the tower can mean a few different things. It can refer to an institution or perhaps a certain authority or someone who affects this decision or is related to this news. The tower can also suggest the long term or the past, so it can mean that you had been waiting on this for some time. But it comes into action and things are put to motion, and there's some very positive news for you. Now, the woman and rider can suggest that this person is the messenger or the person who relays the news. The sun and tower is a lovely message for a long patch of protection and good luck. So this news or this feedback or whatever action is happening here, Leo, that is aligned with your goals is going to affect you for the longer term. And the heart and stork is lovely for happy feelings and feeling really excited and moving forward with your, whatever you can do now that you have this news. So these are some really bright cards that bring positive news and that put things into motion. Now, the woman with the bird, tower, star, and heart really confirms what we just saw. There's some very positive news that answers a wish, likely coming from this woman. And the rider with the bird, sun, star, and stork is similar here, really bringing together the two very positive cards. Clearly, a wish is answered. So any way you look at these cards, any way you combine them, Leo, they answer a wish and this news comes through. Now, the context of the cards is flexible because we're not really seeing cards that guide a theme. The tower can be on the more professional, administrative, official side of things, but not necessarily. And it's really the only cards that could suggest a theme. So just by way of different contexts, in terms of work, you could get an offer, you could get a promotion, you could get whatever good news you're waiting on. In terms of personal relationships, you can hear back from someone and enjoy some really good times with this person. In terms of any other context, you get the answers that you want and you get the support that you need and you're able to move ahead. So these are really good cards, Leo, no matter how you look at them and in what context. I certainly hope this resonates with you. Let me know how it played out for you. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Virgo, let's get into your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Virgo, here is your hourglass. we have a generally positive feel for the cards. We have the lovely clover at the top and the peaceful tree right here. And these are some cards of luck and security. We also have the lily, which is a card of stability. In the middle, we have the stork and child. And this is classically the combination of pregnancy in Lenormand. Now, I don't read it this way because the likelihood of this happening is kind of small. And also, it's not enough cards for a general reading like the ones we do for our weekly forecasts. More broadly, the stork and child is very much about a new beginning. So you are kicking off into something new. The clover and lily points to an exciting phase ahead, and there can be a lucky turn of events. So I think there could be some changes as well. The bird and tree is great for relaxing and also for having fruitful conversations. The thing about the tree is that it's slower than the bird. So you could be feeling excited and anxious and wanting to move ahead in this new beginning, but the tree will sort of slow you down. And the bird is also a card of conversations, so it might pay off, Virgo, to have some more conversations as you move ahead in this exciting new project or this exciting new phase. The clover with the bear and tree is very much about growth and empowerment, and this could be something like a promotion, a step up, something increases in your life because we have both the bear and tree, and this is really exciting for you. The bird with the man and lily can be a conversation with someone professional. And it's very likely that this person is part of what enables you to grow and to step up and to experience this exciting new beginning. Now, something else that comes to mind is possibly the area of health, because we have both the tree and lily. And if this is an area that is relevant to you, Virgo, at this time, then you could meet someone and open up into a new way of doing things that improves your health or supports your overall well-being. That's a possibility. At the end, we'll look at the different contexts. Now, the clover and bird is some very good news. The bear and man suggest someone of influence, a bit like with the lily. And the tree and lily is very much a combination for growth and maturity. And I really think, Virgo, that you are in a position now to grow in some way, in some area of your life. This is exciting for a new phase. You could be maturing. You could be becoming more expert. Things are sort of stabilizing on the next level. So these are quite exciting. The clover with the stork, man, child, and tree is really just repeating what we saw. There are exciting changes and a new beginning that grows into something exciting. This man could be someone you're just meeting, or it could be a new phase with this person or the person who helps you grow. And the bird with the stork, bear, child, and lily is very much about a new phase, again, a new phase of growth, and we're seeing another element of stepping up. So the stork and bear is a step up. The bear and tree is a step up. The lily and tree is another indication of growth and, that next level sort of idea. So we're really seeing this clearly in the cards. Now, this could be about work, for example. Like we said, it could be a promotion. You could be getting more responsibilities. Maybe you're becoming at the more managerial kind of level, whether it's at work or in some other area of your life. In terms of a relationship, this could be a new relationship, or it could be a new phase in a relationship, and it could be becoming more serious, Virgo. So this too is exciting. And like I said, I felt that possibly the health area could be relevant as well, where you are maybe you meet someone new, or you consider a new path, a new way of doing things that supports your well-being overall. So these are some really nice cards that clearly point to growth and a new phase in this direction, Virgo. You definitely want to go with this. You want to live up to the next level and also be there for this person who seems to be pretty supportive. Really nice cards. I look forward to your feedback on this, Virgo, in what context they played out for you. I'd really be interested to know if this was, a promotion or something else, or what was going on here in terms of that elevation that we're seeing for you. Very best of luck with this. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Libra, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and let's see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Libra, this is a tricky set of cards. This is quite tricky. So it's clear that there is a fallout with a person, and it looks like you're going to take a stand. The cards are really clear across different combinations, as you're going to see. Starting with the middle line, we have the snake and heart. As you know, the snake is a card of deception and cheating, and especially in relationships, it can be quite toxic. We see it with the heart. So this is someone or a situation where feelings are not genuine and there is a clear disappointment. Now, the key in scythe is a breakthrough. And in this context, it's going to mean a breakaway. And the key certainly encourages you to move away. The coffin and woman suggests the end of a relationship. And we also see the woman and scythe. And we're going to tie the scythe with the heart here, which is a heartbreak. So as you see, the combinations are all coming together to suggest a separation from this person. The key with the cross and woman can mean that you need to make a decision about this person. The cross is not always easy. It can be quite heavy and challenging, but the key definitely gives you insight. And together they have a more spiritual side, which suggests that you could be, you need to tap into your inner wisdom and your intuition and your experience in order to make a decision about this person. But you're definitely on the right track. The coffin and scythe, they're not adjacent to each other immediately, but they're quite close. And this is a very final combination for an ending. And with the sun, which is one of the brightest cards of the deck, it suggests a healing and a very positive outcome. So this could be quite relieving for you. The key and coffin is a closure. The cross and sun is an important decision that brings relief. And like we said, the woman and scythe suggest a separation. So really, Libra, the cards are very clear. Over and over, we're seeing the same messages. The key with the snake and sun into the heart and woman, this would have been a more positive line potentially, but we do have the snake, and it suggests that you're better off, moving away, especially in view of the other cards. And this could have been a positive relationship, or maybe it was for a while, but I think at this point you see through things. Certainly the other line is a lot sharper. We see the coffin, snake, and cross, and then we have the heart and scythe. So this is a heartbreak here, the heart and scythe. The cross and heart can be quite heavy on the heart, like difficult emotions. The coffin and snake is an ending, and the snake and cross is similar, and it suggests, this decision of moving away. So the message is very clear that you are ending a relationship with this person. Now, who this person is, we don't really see in the cards. It could be a personal relationship because of the heart, but not necessarily. It could be someone at work. It could be a collaborator. It could be a customer. It could be someone who gives you a service, like a doctor, an agent, tax agent, people like that. So really the context is flexible. We're not really seeing much guidance from the cards. So it's going to depend on your specifics. But this could be quite a sharp week where you're drawing a line, Libra, and certainly the cards encourage you to do this. Now, I have to say that despite the somewhat tricky cards like the coffin, snake, and scythe, as well as the cross, I'm not seeing a whole lot of drama. And I'm not so sure how painful this is going to be. I think it's more around the decision. And certainly because the sun is so bright and so positive, it really relieves the cards from these challenges. So yes, there is disappointment. Yes, there is an awareness that this is not a supportive relationship, but really the decision is there, and you are able to make a sharp decision and stand behind it. And the key also supports the sun in this very bright message. So very, very clear cards. I really wonder how it plays out for you, Libra. If you're willing to share, is there a parting of this sort that is materializing for you, and in what context? So very best of luck with this. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Scorpio, here is your hourglass. It's a little bit challenging, and it brings into the focus a person. It seems like they're not the most pleasant of people, and you sort of need to put up with them. And that's really what we see in the cards, that it's not really a final kind of conclusion with this person. It's sort of in transition, and you need to put up with them. The moon and mouse suggests a phase that's a little bit difficult, not really interesting. And it can also point to an offer that is not great. And sometimes the moon is associated with work, and with the mouse, there can be some stress here and just a lack of general interest. The road and woman suggests a relationship with this person and moving forward with this person. She could be leaving, but we're not seeing this confirmation in other cards. The cross and lily suggests a phase that is, you need to put up with it for a bit. So it's not the most exciting of situations. But the idea of the cross is that it has a having to energy. So you have to bear that cross and you have to put up with things. And the lily is also a card of work and career, potentially. But it can also refer to life in general. The road with the fox and lily is a job or a work situation that you're moving ahead with. So we have 3 cards that can highlight the job. So this theme could be in focus for you, Scorpio, the moon, fox, and lily. And the thing about these cards is that they are slow, disciplined cards. And so we're seeing another message of sort of dealing with it and doing what you need to do. The fox is also a card of diplomacy and strategy. It's a clever card. So this is another message that you need to deal with this person and the situation in a smart way. The cross with the dog and woman is another message of putting up with this person. We're seeing the cross here, and the dog and woman represents this person. It could be a friend, it could be a colleague, or someone else. The road and cross means that you are at crossroads and that you need to make a decision. But I think within the week, as Scorpio, you're still, working through appreciating what the situation is and thinking through it and dealing with it as it is. The fox and dog suggest someone who's a bit selfish, self-interested, a bit tricky to deal with. And so again, we're seeing that this person is that type, and we're also seeing it with the mouse and dog, fox and mouse. We will get to these diagonals. But the fox can also reflect you, Scorpio, and advise you to be careful and calculated with this person. The lily and woman points to a professional person. So it could be a colleague, like we said. It could be a boss, maybe someone more senior. And that's actually probably all the more reason why you need to be tactful and careful. But even if it's not someone professional or in your work situation, the same idea applies. There's a person who's a bit difficult. You sort of need to put up with them and deal with it for the time being. The road with the moon, dog, mouse, and lily. Again, it's like you're moving forward with this, and it's kind of, it's sort of like a bit of an uphill struggle here. And certainly the mouse brings this element of slowness and stress and lack of interest. And then the cross with the moon, fox, mouse, and woman is clearer about the idea that this is not such a great offer and this is not a great person or a relationship. So overall, Scorpio, the cards are really clear that there's a bit of a negative energy here around this person. And it seems to be mostly focused on work or maybe a practical area of your life. For the time being, put up with it, deal with it a bit longer. You have to work through this current, whatever it is you're doing with them. If there's an offer coming your way, it doesn't look great, but at the same time, I'm not seeing that you need to be sharp in turning it down or saying yes. So sort of just keep it, sleep on it, let's say, Scorpio, and look into it a bit further. But certainly, this is a bit of a negative energy and it's not looking great, although you have to put up with it. In terms of a personal relationship, something similar is coming through. This is not a great relationship. You could maybe take a bit of a distance from this person. And but again, we're not seeing like a breakup or a sharp separation or anything like that. So it's calling for a bit of patience and a bit of strategy and tact. And hopefully after this week, it's going to smooth out. And also one more thing I want to suggest, Scorpio, is that keep things to yourself and you don't have to be drawn into any drama. You can keep the situation and this person at a healthy distance and in a proper perspective. So deal with it a while longer and then see how it plays out. Let me know what you make of this, Scorpio. I'd be really interested to know who this person is and what the issues are with them, if you're willing to share. Very best of luck with this. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Sagittarius, here is your hourglass. It's looking a little bit challenging. We have a person in the picture with difficult cards like the mouse and the snake especially. But we do have the sun afterwards, and it looks like you are able to overcome this person or the issues that this person brings. Now, in the middle, we have the dog and cross, and this tells us that you have to make a decision about this person. I also think, Sagittarius, that you might have to put up with them because the cross is a card that suggests bearing one's cross. And the dog is a card of friends, colleagues, siblings. So who this person is quite flexible. Now, the man and tower can suggest someone older, someone like a manager, someone with a certain level of authority, or it can mean someone you've known a long time or they're from the past. And the mouse and bird can mean that there's a bit of an annoying conversation that happens, or that there are some a bit of negative energy here in terms of the interaction with this person. It can also suggest that you need to have a conversation in order to clarify these issues and bring them out. Now, the man with the snake and bird can mean that this person is a bit avoidant, and maybe that's the reason why you need to try to make this conversation happen. But also, Sagittarius, the snake is often a card of deception. So when we see it with the birds and mouse, it can mean that this person lies and is not telling the truth and is being dishonest. So this is something to keep in mind. Now, the mouse with the sun and tower is lovely because it helps you overcome these issues. The sun is a very bright card, and it is much stronger than the mouse, and it does help also overcome the snake. So the sun is going to bring clarity to the matter. Now, seeing it with the tower can mean a few different things. It can mean overcoming this past situation or this past relationship. It can mean a new lease of life, and it can refer to this tower as being a place that is related to work, something business related, or something related to official things. So there can be a lot of clarity in this process, and it could really answer a wish as well. The man and mouse, again, this negative person, just like we saw with the snake. The snake and sun is a bit different here. The snake is not always challenging. With a bright card like the sun, it suggests that you are able to see through the issues, and also that a roundabout approach can pay off. So it pays to be diplomatic and calm and tactful. And this is probably part of the energy with the cross, where we suggested that you want to put up with this a little bit, Sagittarius, in order to see it through. The bird and tower points to a conversation with whoever is in the tower, whether it is someone official, a manager, or someone else who is guiding you or supporting you in this process. So there's definitely clarity that is going to come through, and there's definitely going to be an opportunity for a conversation. You might need to make this happen, Sagittarius, because this person seems to be a bit avoidant, and also they try to lie, I think. Now, the man with the dog and sun into the cross and bird is supporting what we just said. So a very positive outcome can materialize with this person, and the cross and bird suggest this important news and conversation. And the mouse with the dog and snake into the cross and tower is the element of negativity and challenge, where with the cross and tower, there is going to be a decision made, and it is it's probably escalated as well to the tower. Now, one thing I want to add is that it's possible that we're dealing with different people. So there is a person who is difficult and a person who is supportive. And clearly in such a scenario, Sagittarius, you might want to get the support of this helpful person in order to deal with the challenging relationship that you're going through right now. Something else about these cards is that the context is flexible. It seems to me that it's more on the official, practical, maybe work-related side of things, but it can also apply in a more personal context for you. It depends on your specific situation. So in the context, or with regards to the context, the cards are kind of flexible. So let me know what you make of this, Sagittarius. I'm quite curious about who this person or these people are and what the issues with them. Let me know if you're able to make that conversation happen so that you can get clarity on the situation. As always, I look forward to your perspective. So very best of luck with this. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Capricorn, here is your hourglass. It's looking exciting, but at the same time, there are some somewhat challenging aspects that you need to deal with this. The stork and bear, first of all, in the center is great for an important step forward. This could be a significant step forward. It could be something like a promotion or an improvement or some kind of increase. So this is really positive. Now, the fish and ring is great for money and income. You could be getting some income here, and you could also be getting a business deal or some other agreement that supports your finances, your work, and your business. And the garden and cross here is a little bit challenging. It can mean certain responsibilities are on your shoulders, and also you need to maybe put up with a certain environment or a certain situation. So there's a bit of a balance between the two here. There's an important step up, and there is a flip side of sorts where you need to embrace the responsibilities as well. Now, the child between the fish and cross suggests an important new beginning for you financially, work-related, or some other business situation, typically because of the fish. And this could be quite significant. The cross is not always an easy card, Capricorn, but it does point to the importance of this step. And you need to live up to this, like you need to take on this challenge. The garden with the snake and ring is very clear about some people whom you need to be warned about. There are definitely some people in your environment who are cheaters, who are liars, and who are just dishonest. So you need to figure these people out and, put them in the right perspective in the right place in your life. And there could be some envious people playing against you or wanting a piece of your cake. Okay, so just be careful with this. The fish and garden is great for success in the market, for business. The child and snake points to a new beginning that you need to move into carefully. And the cross and ring suggest some relationships that you need to put up with. So as we said from the get-go, Capricorn, you have a lot of good things happening for you, but you really need to be careful about protecting this, because in your environment right now, there can be some people who are playing against you and who do not have good intentions. Now, the fish with the stork, snake, bear, and cross is a little bit tricky because you need to deal with certain people carefully. These are represented by the bear, and they could be people like managers, bosses, decision makers, and others, who have some kind of influence. So just, be careful and be tactful and diplomatic with these people. The garden with the stork and child into the bear and ring is a great combination for this improvement, this step up, and this new beginning that we see. And you could be making new relationships with people who have a higher up position. And these could be supportive people, but also they are people you need to be careful with. So the snake comes in handy to advise you to be tactful and careful as you embrace your empowerment, as you embrace this positive financial element here. So like I said from the get-go, there's a bit of a mixed bag. There's lots of good things happening, but you have to be careful to protect that and to deal with people carefully. So this could be something like a business deal. It could be a promotion at work. It could be maybe you're networking in the marketplace, and it could be in other areas of your life. In terms of a personal relationship, there can be a bit of a trickier energy because when it comes to love, the snake can be a cheater and a third party, so like a love triangle. So if there is something like that, I would say just deal with it for the time being, or not so much deal with it, but, don't do much about it right now. It sounds like it's better to observe, and it's likely that you're able to protect yourself. But again, Capricorn, I feel that with personal relationships and in all relationships, you want to be careful because these might not be the best of intentions. So put yourself first and protect yourself while respecting the chain of command and being tactful across the board. Still, Keep focused on your empowerment because this is clearly in the cards. Let me know what you make of these ideas, Capricorn. This is quite an interesting situation. I'd be curious to know who these tricky people are for you and what this empowerment was, which hopefully materialized for you. Very best of luck with this. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aquarius, here is your hourglass, and we have the beautiful star right at the end here, which enables you to achieve goals and which answers a wish. We have a couple of tricky cards, but they're earlier in the layout, which is nice to see. So it's clear that you're able to overcome them. Now, the tree and ship is very much about growth and progress and moving ahead with your goals. These are really great cards for a general sense of direction and well-being. You could also be traveling, but if you're going to do this, maybe wait a bit and plan it well. The clouds and star is quite positive because your ambitions and your hopes can materialize. The clouds can be a bit challenging. It suggests confusion and lack of clarity, but certainly the star is going to deliver clarity and it's going to help you move past your doubts. The woman in tower can represent a couple of different possibilities here. Someone like a manager, someone who is authoritative, maybe it's someone you consult, someone with some kind of expertise. And it could also represent a person from the past or someone you've had a long-standing relationship with. So it's possible that this woman is connected with your being able to achieve these goals, which is likely in the bottom row. So we have the woman, letter, and star. So she could be the one who delivers this really good news. In the top row, though, we have a triplet that is not so bright because of the clouds and snake with the tower. So it sounds like this was pending a decision. And she could be the one who is to make the decision or is connected to it. And with the clouds and snake, it could have been tricky, or you've been trying to, make it happen in a calm and diplomatic way because of the snake. And again, this tower represents like an institution or the decision or this person at the top. So you've had to sort of be patient and to, be a bit of a charmer here to make it happen. But thanks to this lovely message, we see it materialize. And also the middle line helps with this. The clouds and woman, again, suggest that this could have been a complication with this person, or that maybe she wasn't on top of it, or things were in the way. The snake and letter is very much about discretion with this news. So this news that you get, which is very positive news, Aquarius, you want to keep it under your hat. But also because of the T crossing with the top row, I feel that you're trying to make it happen. So you try to, without being pushy, you try to get them to respond. And with the tower and star, there is a very positive response. So a very lovely message, especially at the end of the day. The woman with the tree, snake, ship, and star, again, we're seeing this need for patience and trying to, get her to do it in a nice and gentle way. And the clouds, tree, letter, ship, and tower is very similar, where things were taking a bit of time or there were some complications here. But with the letter, ship, and tower, it certainly works out and it goes through. So the good news is coming, Aquarius. You might need to sort of get it to happen in a nice and gentle way. Don't be pushy and be patient. And as soon as you've got it, then move ahead. So really nice cards. Now, in terms of the context, I feel it's more an official thing. We have the tower with the letter. We have the ship, which is a card of business as well. So it seems to me that it's a more practical, work-related, official thing going on here. But in terms of a personal relationship, you're trying to be in touch with this person or to pursue a connection together. And there could have been some distance or some doubts, but it looks like you're able to overcome them. Again, the gentle approach seems to be best here. And so be patient and tactful and nice all throughout, Aquarius. Let me know what you make of this lovely set of cards. I certainly hope you resonate with them in this way. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your hourglass and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Pisces, here is your hourglass. There are a lot of bright cards. We have the beautiful sun in the middle, by itself, this is a very potent and positive card. We have the Clover, the Anchor is quite good, and the Moon is quite soft as well. So the Garden and Sun, this is great for success in the marketplace. You could be popular. You could be happy in an environment. It could also be about celebration and festivities. So really nice cards right from the get-go. Now the Moon and Fox can be a job offer. It can be a tricky offer, but with the support of other cards here, it could be a good one. The Clover and Anchor, for example, is a lovely message for accepting this offer or getting a positive conclusion or even getting a wish fulfilled. Now, the Moon, Tower, and Anchor is a great combination for a sense of stability over the longer term. Keep doing what you're doing, Pisces. You are on the right track. Relax into this. If this is connecting with this job offer, you will probably accept it. Now, it doesn't have to be a job offer, but it can be some kind of project or a collaboration or however it looks like specifically for you. And again, you want to keep your focus on the long term here. The Clover and Scythe is a breakthrough, and the Scythe and Fox can mean a couple of different things. So if this is about negativity, then you're able to release negativity. If there is someone who's trying to play against you, Pisces, because it is possible with the Fox, you're able to see through them. And the Clover is certainly protective. And if this is about an opportunity, which we saw in other combinations, then you could actually embrace it. This could be quite a change. The Moon and Clover is a lovely offer. The Tower and Scythe is a break from the past, so this could be quite a change. And the Anchor and Fox is landing on a job or landing in this opportunity or project. This creates a sense of stability, but especially through discipline, Pisces, because the Fox and Anchor are both cards that do what they need to do and create that routine and that predictability. So these are really good cards for making positive changes that put you on a path of stability and I would say even greater security. It could come through a new job or a change on the job or in relation to your work, whatever that looks like specifically. Now the Moon with the Garden into the Scythe, Sun, and Anchor. Again, this is a lovely breakthrough. This is a lovely opportunity. You could be doing really well, Pisces, and you could get a really good opportunity. And the Clover with the Garden Tower into the Sun and Fox, well, this is a lovely combination for being in a stable situation, being in a successful situation. This is a really good job that you can hold for the longer term. It could mean something like a promotion or a generally positive situation with your work and practical life. So really nice cards here, really nice cards. I would say the potentially negative aspect of the Fox is almost completely overturned by all of the combinations that we see here. But Pisces, it always pays to be careful and calculated and to have a good strategy. So keep this in mind. Again, I think this is more about your work. We have the Moon, the Tower, the Fox, all of these can be about work. But in terms of other contexts, I think the same idea applies. You have an opportunity to make a positive change. There is potentially a release that frees you up to focus on your priorities for the longer term. I'm not really seeing one-on-one relationships. We have the Garden, which is a card of community. So it's going to pay off to network. And like we saw with the Sun, you could be doing really well in this market or in this environment. But in general, the cards seem to be focused on your work, your practical life, and a really good opportunity that comes your way. Changes the game a little bit, potentially. But it sets you up for a longer term security. So really exciting cards, and I certainly hope they materialize for you. Let me know what you made of them, how they resonated with you. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week, Pisces. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself.